Alright, let's see here. Let's just clear this out quickly. So this video is going to be called Organic Portal and Narcissism. Video 1, I've already created a video. Right, good, we've got almost 5 gig. Just wanted to have a look there, how many gigabytes I've got. So, you know, there's a lot of people coming out with narcissism videos. It's like a hot topic right now, right? You've got that, what's that lady's name? Something with an R. She was even on that old prank channel, LAWH or LAHW. You know, that dude, he used to do prank videos, but now all he does is like interview videos. Dr. Ramani or something. She's the lady you'll see with many video interviews on narcissism around YouTube. Like, she's got millions of views in the videos where she talks about narcissism. And look, even she says, and you know, obviously I'm going to point to her a little bit because everybody thinks, you know, she's the expert. She's a professor at a uni or something like that, you know. So, look, I'll go straight for the top. You know what I mean? Like, if you walk into a group of guys, you punch the biggest guy first and the rest of them will back down. So let's go straight for the top. So she's like, you know, the hot one in it right now. She's the lady, she looks Indian. I don't know if she's from India, but she looks Indian. She's living in California, I think it is. Or Hollywood, I can't remember. But anyway, so she's the lady you'll see with many videos out on the internet right now, like with millions of views and stuff. So that's why I've decided to like mention her. So anyway, she's going on about narcissism and stuff, and look, she won't even associate it. Sorry, I'm just trying to press a back button here. She won't even. Thank you. She won't even associate, you know, narcissism with soullessness. She says everybody has a soul. That's the naive. And notice she didn't give an explanation. Nobody knows. Nobody has an explanation, so you cannot say such a statement. Everybody has a soul. Okay, prove it. You can't prove that everybody has a soul. However, us people in the organic portal movement, we're starting to prove that there are soulless and self-spiritless people out there. And I feel my channel is really digging deep into this. I'm going to go dimensionally, you know, from spiritual to pragmatic with this channel. We're going to do the whole thing. We're going to go the whole way, deep into science, all that. That's all coming, right? I've started with the philosophy because I like to start with the philosophy, and then we're going to science it out as we go. Sometimes I mention Stuart Hameroff, the co-director of Consciousness Institute, and his theory on the soul, how the soul is in the microtubules, the level below the neurons in the brain, which is similar to saying in the quantum mind. Now, I laughed when I first read that because I know it's not in there, it's not hiding inside your microtubules. But what you will have there is an imprint. That's what, in my words, he should have said. In my opinion, he should have, you know, titled it a bit differently. Because it's laughable to say that the human soul is hiding inside the microtubules. Come on, what a statement. It's obviously not a physical thing, yeah? Anyway, so the imprint will be there in the microtubules. That I would basically agree with him and his theory on that. It's just you got to say it a little bit differently, and language is very important for understanding, so you have to say things correctly. And what I think is not being said correctly is that all organic portals are narcissistic. I don't think so. Because the robotic portal, so what I'm saying is that's incorrect. Yes, they're inherently narcissistic. They can be inherently. That means that they revert to that code because they run off script. Yeah? If you've been following the whole organic portals movement, you understand that it's to do with, you know, reality as a matrix and, you know, in the purest sense of the matrix, like a programmed reality. And look, great men from the past have said, you know, reality's a machine, right? We're trapped in a machine, right? So anyway, let's not dig too deep into that end of things. That's not this video. This video is about narcissism, right? But you can hear me talk with narcissistic tone often. Kind of right now, yeah? I'm doing that on purpose because it's a tightening of my code. I'm making very pedantically sure that I speak properly and perfectly. Do you understand? So narcissism is involved in higher souls' great work. We also have other people like left side of the brain in the organic portals, human prison bar movement videos that he even had a video like a year ago. He said, narcissism is good for higher souls. And I agree. And yes, he's like my competition. We're like, rivalry and all that. That's cool. We're creating a movement. He's cool with it and I'm cool with it, I'm sure. He's a big boy. He can handle himself. Anyway, so he had a video about that. I didn't watch it because I don't need to, because I understand from the video title, yes, that's true, that higher souls, it's good for us to have some narcissistic behavior. Now, back to the lady, and I'm going to we're going to rigmarole through that, what I just said, that sentence, and that idea that higher souls, can benefit from some narcissistic behavior, because it's like a pedantasy. Being pedantic and very, very particular as well. It's not just, as my other video is going to show you on narcissism, I'm going to relate narcissism to a low energy state. And, when you get grumpy, narcissistic, but notice you can get it from being tired and low energy. You can get a bit narcissistic, right? Get a bit mean, but get a bit narcissistic. But you can also get narcissistic from other angles. That's my point here. That just because someone is narcissistic does not mean they are a soulless, organic portal, spiritless human. It does not exactly equal that. And that's what people are starting in the organic portals movement to try to say, because they just don't seem to be able to differentiate. So aren't you lucky you have me, huh? You should really be liking the video and thanking me for sorting it out, sorting through people being glib. Because you're being glib when you're saying that all organic portals are always narcissistic. That's absolutely incorrect. Because even as that lady, the Dr. Ramani or something her name is, she'll say even in her videos, it's associated with, greatness and people being real strong leaders and leadership and stuff, right? Because it's, again, like I said, to do with like pedantasy and controlling yourself. Right? It's so that you don't let too loose and become too loose. We can't be drunk all day. Do you understand? When you drink alcohol, you get drunk, you get loose. You get basically the opposite of narcissistic a lot of the time, right? So you can see what I'm saying is about like a tightening. It's a kind of tightening and pedantasy as well, right? There's many ways that narcissism can make itself to the surface for you to see it on someone else. They could be doing great work and just be sick of everyone. Like Leonardo da Vinci. He was very narcissistic, but he's a great man. You know him as one of the great men of history. Now it's the end of history, right? 2012 signaled the end of individual human cultures, right? We're going into the ocean of humanity, from tribes to cultures to the ocean of humanity. It's the end of history. Right, and Universe 1, I talk about 2012 in a much larger way than just end of culture. So it's actually into a universe out of reactionary creation, into a universe where we've popped out, yes, dimensionally and consciously, we've popped out of the passive creation and to become, light bodies in co-creation. Now, anyway, getting back to the narcissism thing. So, Leonardo da Vinci was super narcissistic. Some people still haven't figured out half of the things he said. Some of our smartest minds in the world. So he was definitely a great man from history. One of the great men, like Einstein. All the names they're all the great indigos of history. They're the great men. Now, like Victor Schauberger and his implosion ideas. And I have many things I'm going to say on Victor and implosion and how dumb I think people are. Oh, and now I'm being narcissistic because I call people dumb. Well, guess who else did it? Leonardo da Vinci. He called people the ignorance. He said, instead of saying the people, he said, oh, the ignorance, like the ignorant people, yeah. Then there's people like Dennis McKenna, Terence McKenna's brothers quotes, have you ever noticed as the sphere of understanding is constantly expanding, necessarily the surface area of ignorance grows larger? So that could be interpreted as a narcissistic quote if you relate it to, organic portals and how we're saying how most people are not necessarily organic portal but behaving like organic portals, and that's the problem. I'm going to do a video on that soon. So even, the top doctors talking about narcissism out there in the world, like that Romani lady or whatever her name is, I think it's something Dr. Romani or something, even they'll say, yeah, okay, it's, it can be annoying and narcissism is, narcissism and, it's not enjoyable, right, etc. But it's something that, like I've said, it can be used as a thing to tighten you up on your great work, to focus you in, to not be glib, so that you become much more sincere on the truth and perfected and pedantic, right? And those energies fit with the narcissistic energy. And that's how I do it in my videos, and that's why sometimes people are like, oh, Ben, you have a bit of a narcissistic tone sometimes. Yeah, I do sometimes, and this is why I thought I have to finally explain this to people. Because I know and I see that there's some of you out there who just don't seem to have grip on this. So look, even the leaders in the movement of, narcissism, and I say it in that tone because it's annoying me, because people are, not only are people saying that if you're narcissistic, you're an organic portal, and that's incorrect, but also people are going over the top with it. It's like a fad and a fashion, I bet you in 10 years you won't be talking about narcissism anymore. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's why it's annoying me. It's like just one of those fads out there at the moment, sucking up all the energy, but in a glib way where people won't cover it properly and you won't integrate it into your higher knowledge properly. If you don't understand it fully, you'll throw it to the side. You'll think, oh, okay, all narcissistic people are stupid, throw them to the side. Incorrect. They make very great leaders, like that Dr. Romani lady said, like Steve Jobs, creating the iPhones and all that, right? Same thing. You see it now, Leonardo da Vinci, or if it's Steve Jobs, or if it's Benjamin Kauenberg. It's the same vibration of that narcissistic energy for a purpose of doing great work, right? Like I've said, pedantic on your great work, right? But then there's the organic portal narcissism, which is narcissism from a low energy state, an unknowing state, a self-harming state. What's that word? There's a word for it. Not sadistic, but there's another word. Anyway, sorry, I've forgotten it. There's self-harming. There's like a word for that, like self-mentally harming. But I've forgotten the word. I apologize. So so the organic portal, right, is not always narcissistic, but when they are, it's an inherent code and script narcissism and an unconscious narcissism. Like I'm just saying, I and the other great men, we do it for a purpose and a conscious type of narcissism. It's on purpose. I'm not making the mistake. I'm not just being narcissistic because I'm an asshole. Do you understand? The organic portal, if they are reverting to their narcissistic code, it's because it's reverting to ego, right? The ego, the unqualified ego, and you have to listen to me talk about qualified ego and what does that mean, because you're never going to kill the ego. It's an integral part of you. It's how you know whose mouth to put the spoon in at night and feed you and your body, because it's the steward of the physical body, like the id is the steward of the light body, right? So the organic portal reverts to narcissistic code because they're reverting only to ego, because they're only surface anthropoid, not anthropod spiders, anthropoid monkey body, right? So they're only the surface body people. I mention that almost every video. But they're only the body. They're non-spiritual non-spirited, non-self-thinking. They use, horizontal other people's thoughts and ways and so on. And so then you have a lot of relation to rich people, right? Because they think they're above everyone because they've got money. Not all rich people, you see. You can't deal in absolutes, but it's another example. Because I'm sure you've all met the rich narcissist, right? And they're very organic portalized. If they're not an organic portal, they're playing the game of the organic portal, which is also wrong. Because all evolution is only spiritual. That's why it's incorrect. So anyway, they're playing a too materialistic game is what I'm saying, some of those rich people, even if they're not an organic portal and they are a soul. You understand? Okay. So, I hope I've already cleared the water for you a bit there, because people are muddying the water and people are going to get confused. They're going to throw away the whole organic portals movement. They're going to throw away and forget and dismiss. And we don't want that, because this is serious. This can actually heal the world, to realize that almost all the problems in the world are created by the Black Alliance or the organic portals. And no, we're not talking skin color. How old are you? Come on. Black Alliance is in, family of dark. There are family of light, family of love, and family of dark in this universe, yeah? The family of dark sets up the structure for the family of light to transcend home to the family of love. And we're in an expanding, loving universe, yeah? And we are one, most definitely we are one, both physically, metaphorically, literally, in any way you can imagine it. Anyway, so the organic portal, is not necessarily narcissistic. Not necessarily, but inherently. You see that? Okay. Because they inherently can only revert to the ego code. So it's inherent. Okay? Anyway. So someone like me can pick up narcissism in order to be pedantic about my speech or my great work or something. Just like Steve Jobs or just like Leonardo da Vinci. Okay? And also, when I get a bit annoyed, you hear my narcissistic tone come out. And that's what I said. Narcissism is also relatable to a low energy state. And that's when I get annoyed, I get in a low energy, right? Okay, and I'm becoming more my ego then as well, aren't I? Okay, so you see this all fitting together. Right. So, now to the second part of the video. Not necessarily is an organic portal narcissistic. Why? Well, one channel deleted his video on friendly NPCs. Not going to name the channel, but yeah, anyway. They deleted their video, but because they were saying, how friendly the NPC is. Yes, but that's a trap of inurement, and I was one of the people who commented under the video. He knows who he is, and he deleted the video. He also deleted his video about McDonald's having human meat in it. So now you know what channel I'm talking about, anyway. But, he's a young guy being a bit ridiculous, but look, not necessarily are organic portals narcissistic, because the inurement factor, to be inured, yeah? To be inured, remember that word from the movie The Matrix as well? I've got a video coming out, the infinitization of virtual reality, and another video about, or I think it was maybe the same video that basically they're going to fight in the coming decades for, keeping this system erect, the slave system of scarcity-based system that we have, because they're inured. And I was saying something about the infinitization of virtual reality being part of that as well. Let's forget that sentence, because it's a bit fuzzy, that video. I shot it a couple of months ago. I'll upload it soon. Let's get back to what I was saying for the second part of this video, which is really to focus on the friendly NPC, non-player character, or, very relatable to an organic portal. If you understand them as a stabilization of the human or any species morphogenetic field, they're like a stabilization function which is now acting like a blocking device. It's a corrupted central computer program, just like Agent Smith out of the movie The Matrix. What happens? He turns all the individuals, including the Oracle lady, into him. And they all look the same. They're all wearing the same suit, features the same and everything, right? This is the surface virus. Welcome to the surface virus. So the surface virus is that, you don't think for yourself, you think with other people's thoughts, and, you're trapped in be-life or be-lies or beliefs. You believe things without even thinking about them. I meditate on everything, and that's why this video could even be created. See, if I didn't meditate on other people's words, I wouldn't have even been able to make this video. I would have just been like, yeah, organic portals, they're narcissistic, yeah, because I didn't think for myself. So everybody in the organic portals movement that has videos like that they're saying, and it's only if they're saying necessarily organic portals are narcissistic, they're incorrect. Don't even listen to those people. Notice even left side of the brain, half side of half brain. I'm never going to let him live that down. Even half brain could see very straight, right? So even left side of the brain, even half side of the brain, sorry, left, but even half side of the brain knew, right? Because it's logic that, to be narcissistic can help you with your great work. And he has a video even, narcissism is good for higher souls, and I don't disagree. You see that? Because of what I said previously. Now, to end this video, the friendly NPC exists, the friendly organic portal, because they need to inure you. It's a fantastic, easy, simple method to inure you. Why? Because it's so inurable to enjoy yourself, right? How quickly you become inured to anything you enjoy. Even sex with your girlfriend, and then you're trapped in a relationship sometimes with a bitch or an asshole of a woman, right? This can happen, right? Not saying all women are like that. It's just an example, right? So look, the friendly NPC makes you enjoy yourself in the moment, makes you forget all the pain, yeah? Any psychotronic pain matrix pain, any pain of the day. Oh, I'm just going to enjoy myself and have fun. Welcome to inurement. You just stopped evolving. Yes, I like to have fun too, right? Does it sound like I don't like to have fun? I like to laugh while I'm talking and stuff. I'm a very joyous person. And, I spent all my youth having fun because I knew when I got older I was going to pick up responsibilities. So I was the most rebellious youth that everybody knows from Sunshine Coast, Australia, from Mountain Creek High School and Mooloolaba Primary School. They'll all remember me. They'll know. I remember him. Anyway, so yes, I like to have fun, but it can inure you. And the point is, you're here to do your great work, to express your magnus opus, to focus your magnus opus. That's what you're doing here. It's people say to do your purpose, right? I just said that in my own words. Focus magnus opus. Now, so you have the friendly NPC. They're not narcissistic. They'll occasionally revert to it if you're very, very good at seeing it, but they're very sly, right? Because their code is to be the friendly NPC. Therefore, you cannot say all organic portal NPCs are or NPC souls, because you can be a non-player character soul who's forfeited yourself completely over to the system and idols and blah, blah, blah. You've given yourself over, basically, consciously. You've stopped your great work. You've gone, oh, it's too hard, I'm just going to get a job and be a normal person. That's called being inured. Okay? Right, so you have the friendly NPC, and they want to inure you. That's that organic portal's role, right? So that's why you cannot say all organic portals are, all the time necessarily narcissistic. They're inherently, but that's different to saying necessarily, okay? And you're going to have to see this for yourself. If this video wasn't enough, this is your focus for the next week, right? Go out and see what was Ben talking about. It's not just a video, download this into your life, right? navigate reality with this now. See if I'm correct or incorrect. Anyway, I know already I'm correct, because I don't like to speak incorrectly and make a fool of myself. Only sometimes for video views on YouTube, yeah? Some of you will know some of the videos I might be referring to. Anyway, I'm a bit of a smartass, but anyway. So there's the friendly NPC, and the friendly NPC's job is to inure you, so they won't be narcissistic. Now there's also the robotic portal. Now the robotic portals, they're more complex than the organic portal, and they have specific code which keeps up with reality. So what do I mean? So currently there's a movement on narcissism, right? There's lots of videos coming out. People are becoming more aware of gaslighting. That's another one, right? Narcissism, that's another big topic at the moment, right? These are fads, right? Topic fads of consciousness, because we're becoming conscious of those things, right? It's not wrong, it's just a current energy or configuration that we're figuring out. What's narcissism? What's gaslighting? Blah, blah, blah. So the robotic portal is aware of the current fads and fashions, and so that they can be more well hidden. The organic portals, they're a little lumpen and very unconscious, but the smart programming of the robotic portals means that they keep up with what the soul humans are putting into the system, like me now talking about this. This will make all robotic portals codes updated when the Matrix, gets this video, when I upload it, and it's all assimilated in knowledge when several organic portals view my video, basically. So when the Matrix becomes aware of this, the robotic portal, the next iteration, or the next robotic portal iteration, the upgrade, the next upgrade, in their system, in their code, the next upgrade of the robotic portal will have in it the awareness of what narcissism is, what it means, how it is to act narcissistic, and they'll avoid it when necessary, because that's how good the coding is of the robotic portal. I've talked before about the difference between robotic portals and organic portals. I think like 4 or 5 different videos now. Look through my playlist and look through the channel. So you have the friendly NPC, and you have also the robotic portal, which will on purpose avoid being narcissistic, and especially if there's people in a movement such as a soulless humans movement, like the organic portals movement. If there's people like us saying, narcissism and organic portals are definitely narcissistic all the time, then the robotic portal will make it their upgrade of code to avoid being that way, to avoid detection, I've talked about robotic portals in like 5 videos before, right? And they're the ones that very sly, negative star, dark star guided, negative alien ET, or ED, interdimensional, extra dimensional, because I don't think there's physical aliens from Zenebel Canusi and 1,000-ton beryllium ships, actually, because there's a lot of really good video photo doctoring in this world. And I studied information technology for like 4 or 5 years, and one of my subjects was video editing. So I understand how you can edit a video to put a little, UFO in it, a little flying saucer, and then millions of people think, oh, little green men, because they saw a video. Well, that's called not thinking for yourself, and that's horizontal information assimilation. And that's what I was talking against earlier in the video. Anyway, that's just a side note. So my point is that there is a friendly NPC and also a upgradable robotic portal, right? And the upgradable robotic portals are always going to be aware of the current style trend, the current hot topic, like gaslighting. So they'll avoid gaslighting you, or they'll do it very, very slyly. They'll also avoid narcissism, the robotic portal, in order to maintain their infiltration into consciousness. And basically the robotic portals are trying to create their own synthetic light as, a satanic army, And I'm going to talk about that soon, the light of Lucifer compared to the light of God. No, I'm not religious, but we're using the word God as an ambiguous word. We're going to go there. Don't worry, you'll understand everything if you listen to all the videos on my channel. Okay, let me breathe. One moment. Pranam. Yum. Okay, just had to take a breath. That was an intense 30 minutes. Okay, exactly 30 minutes. Cool. Fast-paced talking. Well, some people said they wanted me to talk at normal pace. I am of high vibration and I do speak at high pace. Anyway, so you have the friendly NPC and you have the upgradable robotic portal, and no, organic portals are not necessarily going to be narcissistic to you. Okay, just wanted to clear the waters there, because you're going to get a lot of people in the organic portals movement who don't really know what they're talking about. And if you want my advice, stick to the original channels. Look for the older videos that are, several years old and so on. It's now 2019. So, for instance, I have a 2-year-old video, Tom from Montauk. He has videos that are several years old. Yes, even left side of the brain, my competition, yeah? My rival, right? Yes, it's me he's talking about when he says he's going to crush the competition and blah, 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 right? Who do you think he's talking about when he has the video, the champ is back? He's talking about me, the organic portal video king, yeah? Because he's the champ only. You get it? King versus champ, yeah? Anyway. I have fun with him, he has fun with me, we're creating a movement. Chill out, people. Far out. So yeah, you've got the word. This is the gospel. Not necessarily is an organic portal narcissistic, because sometimes they want to inure you, and not necessarily is the robotic portal narcissistic either, because they want to, again, inure you and infiltrate, and so they'll avoid it and upgrade their code. And they'll do the same thing with gaslighting and all these other topics like this, okay? So, when you watch my video on, guilt programming and gaslighting, take this video into consideration, for instance, right? And don't forget what I said about, and even, the leaders of the narcissism movement, like the societal cultural doctors, the white coat doctors, I'll call them, because I'm a shaman multicolor coat doctor. Get it? Cross the rainbow. Yeah, anyway. The magnetically suspended rainbow bridge between brain hemispheres, so you have a whole brain, not a half side of the brain active. Anyway. So robotic portals will avoid narcissism, not necessarily, but most of the time, and they'll do it very sly. The organic portal, not necessarily narcissistic, but inherently, not necessarily, because some of them will just have the code just to inure you, and they'll be friendly so that, they inure you. You want to have a good time. Oh, it's too hard to do the great work. Oh, so much stress. Yeah, it is. It's very difficult. I know I said that in a sarcastic tone, but that's how people are like, they're like, oh, it's too hard to do it, So I'm making fun of you a bit, yes, but geez, I think it's apt. I do think it's apt. Because, you're here for you. You're here for your great work, your vector, your soul, your spirit, yeah? You're pushing your light into the world, your light into the system, right? So when the friendly NPC comes along, I know you want to be kind. You're an empath, right? You want to be kind, and you're a soulful human. You want to be nice. You want to be compassionate, and you've listened to the Buddha. But look, I also had a video on how compassion can, be a fatal error in this matrix, because it's a bit of an energy extraction matrix, yeah? So you show too much compassion and people can, walk all over you, yeah? Take advantage, yeah? Get it? So it can be a fatal error to be compassionate. You have to know when to be compassionate and when not to be, See that video? I made that video too. like 6 months ago. Right, so the robotic portal, the friendly NPC, and no, not necessarily is organic portal people's, are they necessarily narcissistic, right? Because you have the friendly NPC. The friendly NPC wants to inure you. Why? So you don't do your great work, so that there is no new light, no novelty entering the system, yeah? Benjamin Cowenberg, consciousazine.net.